Hello all. In today's lecture, we'll be solving few problems based on Karnack map using POS method. Fine. Fine. Let's solve these two problems based on given question. What is your first step? You have to identify which variable mapping you'll be choosing. Here, how many variables are there? There are 4 variables. So, which variable mapping you'll be choosing? You'll be choosing 4 variable mapping. For 2 variable mapping, how many combinations are possible? 4 combinations. How to write the combination? You very well know. Right? Now, write the decimal numbers again. How to write down these decimal numbers? I hope you are clear with it. If not, please refer to the previous lecture. The link of my previous lecture again, I'll give in the description box for easier navigation. Clear? Now, your first step is over. What is the second step? You have to position these numbers inside the K-map. Identifying whether you have to solve it using a SOP or using a POS. Got it? Here it is pi. What does it mean? You're going to solve it using a POS. Fine. In a POS, you should always remember 0 is represented with actual variable and 1 is represented with complement. Just the opposite of SOP. And what do you mean by POS? POS meaning product of the sum terms. In SOP, we represented every min term as a product term. Right? Here, every max term, whatever expression that you're going to write, every single term you're going to call them as a max term. And those max term will be the sum terms. Fine? Those sum terms you're going to do a product. That is why the term product of the sum terms. Understand? Fine. Now, your second step has to be positioning these numbers inside the Karnack map. How do you position? Whatever numbers are given here for a POS, you're going to represent them using zeros. Clear? Now, in that corresponding box, for all the max terms, on their corresponding boxes, you have to mention a 0. So, starting with 3, what is the second number? It is 4. And then what's the next number? It is 5. And then the next number, it is 6. Your next number, it is 7. Then 9, 11, 12, 13, 14. Whatever number that I'm seeing, I'm checking for the decimal number inside the box. Fine. In that corresponding box, I'll be mentioning 0. So in next number, it is 14. So 14 is here. So I mentioned a 0. 15. I'll check for where 15 is and then I'll mention a 0. Clear? Now mapping is going to be the same. Okay. Can you do the mapping here? For a 4 variable mapping, your first check for mapping has to be a hexagon. See whether you have all zeros in all the boxes. No. So hexagon is not possible. What is the next previous priority that was given? That was octave. So check if you can do an octave. Yes, you can do an octave here. Right? Is there any other octave combination? No. What is the next priority next to octave? It is quad. So I can do a quad here, right? Is there any other quad that is possible? You can do a quad here again. There is another quad also. Right? There is one quad here and there's another quad here. Is there? Now check. Do we have any zeros left? Any of the max term left here without grouping? No. We have tried to group every single max term in one way or the other. So we have to writing the expression. Clear? Now, can you give the expression for this? It is A plus B because it is POS. Whatever term it is given here, it will be sum terms here. Whereas in case of SOP, we included them as product term, right? Here in POS, we'll be having every single term as sum term. And in sum term again, wherever 0 is there, you represent it with actual variable. And wherever 1 is there, you represent that with a complement. Fine. Here all the first term corresponds to A and all the second term corresponds to B. Fine. Now give me the expression for this. It is A plus B bar. Why did I write B bar? Because in POS, 1 is represented with a complement. In POS, 1 is represented with a complement of that particular variable. I said all the second term corresponds to B. Right? Since 1 is here in the second position corresponds to B, so I have given it as B bar. Clear? Now, give me the expression for this. It is A bar plus B bar. Got it? Now for this it is A bar plus B. Understood? In a similar way, give the expression for this. All the first term corresponds to the letter C and all the second term corresponds to the letter D. Here again, for a POS, 0 corresponds to actual term and 1 corresponds to complement. Fine? And these are again sum terms. Now, how do you write this? This is C plus D and this is C plus D bar and this is C bar plus D bar and this is C bar plus D. Is it clear? Now, based on this, can you give me the expression f of A, B, C, comma D? It is equal to, how do you write the expression? Let's take the octave first. Fine. For the octave, which is common here on the horizontal note, only the second term, first term is varying. Here it is 0, here it is 1. It is varying, so we are not going to include that. Consider only the second variable. Second variable is common in both the case. What a second variable corresponds to? It is B bar. So I'll be writing B bar plus. Fine. Now for this particular octave, which is common on the horizontal, here considering the first variable alone, first element alone, here it is C, here it is C bar, it is differing, so I cannot take the first term. Let's check on the second term. Here it is D and then here it is D bar. Initially itself it is varying, so I cannot take the second term as well. So there is only one max term for the octave. Clear? Now let's take this quad bubble, this vertical quad bubble. Fine? Since I didn't get any horizontal, I'm done with the expression for this octave. So there is no another term there, so I have given only one. And POS, it is nothing but product of the sum terms, and every sum term corresponds to one particular bubble. Clear? Now coming to this particular quad, which is common here on the vertical side. Let's take the first term alone, first variable. Here it is A, here it is A, here it is A bar. It is varying, so I cannot take the first variable. Now check on the second variable. Here it is B, here it is B bar. Initially itself it is varying, so I cannot take on the second term as well. Fine. Now for this vertical, which consider the horizontal, for this particular 0 alone, these two terms are common. For this again, these two terms are common. For this element again, these two elements are, terms are common. For this element again, these two elements are common. Right? So can I write that? It is C bar plus D bar. Dot. Fine. I put a dot here because it is product of the sum terms, where every sum term corresponds to one bubble. Now we are done with this particular quad, this particular octave. Now let's take this quad. For this quad, which is common here on the, for this square, which is common here, first term it is A bar, so it is common. So let me write A bar. Is the second term common? No, second term is not common, so let me ignore this. Now take it on the horizontal, which is common here. First element is C, here it is C bar, it is differing, so I cannot take the first term. Take the second term, here it is D bar and D bar. D bar is common, so I'll write plus D bar. Is there any other bubble that is left? No, we have got only 3 bubbles, 1 octave and 2 quad. So we have got all the 3 expressions. This is simplified Boolean expression for the given Boolean function. Clear? In a similar way, let's solve this problem now. Your first step is, how many variables are here? 4 variables. Your first step has to be to identify which variable mapping we have to choose. How many variables are here? There are 4. So which variable mapping will be chosen? 4 variable mapping. Right? Here you have, on the left you have 2 variables. 2 variable, how many combinations are possible? 4 combinations. What are the combinations? You very well know how to write that. And here again, two variables are there, and the possible combinations for 2 variable mapping, it is 4 that we have written it here. Right? Now, give me the expressions again. Is this a POS or SOP? It is POS. Since pi it is given, pi meaning it is POS. So POS meaning product of the sum terms. So every single term here is a max term. Max term meaning sum terms. So how do you write that? This is A plus B. Why am I writing A plus B? Because every single combination is a sum term here. Fine. And now why did I write EA here? Because in POS 0 is represented with actual variable and 1 we are representing with a complemented variable. Here both are zeros. All the first element corresponds to A and all the second element corresponds to B. Fine. The first element here it is 0. 0 corresponds to actual variable, that is A. And the second element B B, here it is 0. So B, again you'll be representing with 0 corresponds to actual variable. So I've written B here. Clear? Now, since it is a sum term, I've given plus. Now for this, can you tell me first, for the first variable, it is 0. 0 corresponds to A, and in POS, 0 corresponds to actual variable. So you'll be writing A. And here for the second term, it is 1. 1 is always represented with a complement. Here the second term corresponds to B, and it is, since it is given in 1, you'll be mentioning at a complement. Fine. And for this, it is A bar plus B bar. For this, it is A bar plus B. Clear? In a similar way, can you give the expression for this? It is C plus D, C plus D bar, C bar plus D bar, and C bar plus D. Got it? Now write the decimal numbers inside. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. Clear? Now your first step is done. First step is identifying the K-map. You have identified. Second step is positioning these numbers inside the K-map. Since it is POS, we'll be positioning them using zeros. Fine. Whatever number is given here in that corresponding box. These are the decimal numbers that I have given. Fine. Based on what decimal number is here in that corresponding box, we'll be mentioning the 0. Now for 0, first position, and then 1. Next number it is 2. Next number 3, 4, 5, 10, where is 10? 10 is here, and then 11, 11 is here, and then 15. Understood? Have we left any term? Okay. Now, your third step is mapping. Since it is a 4 variable map, your first condition has to be to check whether all the boxes has got 0 for a 16 group mapping. But we don't have all the boxes here. We have some few boxes which are empty. So we cannot go for 16. Then go for octave. See whether you can do an octave here. No, we cannot do an octave as well. So go for quad. See if we can do a quad here. Yes, I can do a quad. This is one quad. Is there any other quad? Yes, I do have a quad here. And yes, I do have another quad. I can combine these two as well. This is again one more quad. When I fold it, that again becomes a quad. Right? So I've got 3 quad. This is one quad. This square box is one quad. These two terms, when I fold it, they again become a quad. Got it? Now, is there any other quad? No. Now go for a pair. I can combine these two as a pair. Understood? Is it clear? Now see whether I have left any max term. Is there any zeros left without grouping? No, I have grouped everything. Fine. Now we have to go for writing the expression. Altogether, how many terms are there? How many max terms you will be getting? 3 plus 1, 4 max terms. That is, for every bubble, you will be having one max term. Now, f of a, b, c, d is equal to, now, let me take this bubble. For this bubble, which is common here, a plus b is common. A plus b. Is there anything common on the vertical? No, I don't have. So, that is one max term. Dot. Let me take this quad, this and this. So which is common here? A bar, that is differing. Only B is same. Only the second element is same. So B plus, for the vertical I've checked, we have to check on the horizontal as well. Here which is common? Only C bar is common. D bar is varying. Only the first variable is common. So fine. Now go for this bubble, for this square. Which is common here on the horizontal? Only the first element, A, is common. Here second variable is differing. Here it is B, here it is B bar. So we are not considering that. Only A is common here. So A plus. On the vertical, see vertical which is common? Only the first element is common. First element it is C. Clear? Dot. For this pair, check on the vertical which is common. Here it is A bar, here it is A bar. Only the first term is matching. Second term, here it is B bar and here it is B. It is differing. So I cannot include that. I should include only the common term. So I will be taking only A bar. Plus, check on the horizontal as well. Which is common for this bar? This is C bar and D bar. So C bar plus D. Is it clear how to write the expression for a given Boolean function? This is the simplified Boolean expression for the given function. I hope you're clear now with how to solve a K-map using SOP and POS and how to derive the simplified Boolean expression. Is it clear?